do is have students close their eyes and visualize what the world looks like, and then try to draw the world from memory after having visualized it. And you get a bunch of different responses. You get a lot with the United States, like right in the middle, that they only think about where we live, and then, oh, I know there's a little blob over here and a little blob over there. But I got one from a kid when I was student teaching, and I got it, and it was like perfect proportions, perfect countries were all in the right place to the such a detail that I couldn't believe it. And come to find out that this kid was a refugee from Kosovo, and this was after the wars over there in the late 90s, and his family had come to the United States. And I put the question to the class, like, why is his map so good, or why, and just thinking about, like, if you're in a war-torn area, like trying to get out of there, you probably look at a map many times thinking, where can I go to get out of this or get away from this?
I'm Mr. Baker. This is my 8th year as a math teacher.
My name is Mr. Ball, and I've been teaching for 11 years.
My name is Mrs. Armstrong. I've been teaching since 1999.
My name is Mrs. Branchetti, and I've been teaching for now 13 years. So after college, I had a really boring job that was an office job where I pretty much did work that a monkey could do. And I really felt like I needed to do something that was more rewarding. And I knew I liked the education field. I really didn't think I wanted to become a teacher. But I ended up becoming a tutor for a woman who was learning English, who was from Morocco, and she wanted to learn how to get a driver's license. She wanted to be able to pass her driver's license test. So I worked with her on weekends to help her read the driver's manual and learn how to just learn basic survival English. And I felt like that was really powerful, being able to help somebody gain a driver's license could actually just even change her life in so many ways, because with a driver's license she can now drive to a better job, she can make more money for her family, she could learn the language and use it to communicate and get across her message. And so to me, I realized, like, language is power, and I wanted to teach, so then I decided I wanted to teach kids who needed to learn English. So I went back and got my master's degree to become a teacher, and for 12 years I was an English as a second language teacher, and this is my first year as just a language arts teacher.
As far as role models go, my grandparents all were kind of role models for me. Just the time and period that they lived through, the Great Depression, World War II, and then the way they just had such good work ethics and things like that. I really think that that stuck with me, especially through my early years. Now I appreciate it even more that I'm older. Also, one of my role models really is Gordon Ramsay. I know it sounds dumb, but I really like cooking, so I like watching the way he cooks and things like that, and it's kind of one of my favorite hobbies to do, and I really enjoy watching him cook and watching the passion that he puts towards cooking. So if I ever cook something, I'll put on like a Gordon Ramsay video while I'm cooking it to inspire me, I guess. I don't know.
My biggest role models were my parents. They were my first teachers in life. I learned so many life lessons and morals through them. And I would really say that one lesson that applied a lot to school was just work hard, do your best, have the grit, have a positive attitude, believe you can do anything. and work for it. Don't just expect to be handed stuff in life. The best part of my job is working with a new group of students every year, getting to see the students grow throughout the year, and also being an encourager, hopefully teaching some positive values and morals that they pick up along the way. And it's just been awesome getting to have a new group of 100 or so students every year. And sometimes as a teacher, you know you make a real positive impact. Other times it's just you're a small reason why they're moving on to the next level. But that would be the best part of my job, is working with great students at this school.
I'd say the best part is when I have a student that may be more difficult, that struggles with things, and if they all of a sudden really get the material, or they have like an aha moment where you can see that light up in their eyes, that they, oh, I get this, or I am interested in this, or this, basically touches me or affects me in some way, and they click with that. And it's really awesome to see that, especially, if kids might have a tough home life, or, just doesn't do well at school for whatever reason. And sometimes, they really appreciate that. And you see that little spark and love for learning that we as teachers always want to try to instill in people.
I think I really like the beginning of the year, starting with that novel that we read, Seed Folks, because it has it's a great way to start a year, because it's all about building a community, and that's what a classroom should be as well. You kind of learn through that book that everyone's different, but you can all work together to form a community, and so I really like getting that message across as we start the school year. So that's how I like to start every year with my students.
I used to be a science teacher and a history teacher, and in the past I was a history teacher more than a science teacher, and the project that meant the most to me was a personal history project in which I had students interview their relatives and learn a little bit more about their personal history, and then make the relationship connections between their family and where they fit in history and where history actually was. And not only did the students practice interviewing skills like for learning about their family, but they also learned how to interview. So it was a all-around great project that I think meant more to the students than anything else they've ever done.
I would say the most important things is treat people with respect. I feel like if you treat others with respect, you're just setting a good trend, and also people are going to be more likely to help you out along the way if you're somebody who's always kind and treats others with respect. The other point of advice I would say is be a hard worker. Believe you can do it, but you have to work hard for it. You have to work hard to be the best person you can possibly be. So those would be my 2 words of wisdom.
My piece of advice to anyone is to find your passion, go with it, and make it your future.
My advice for kids of today would be put your phones down and follow your dreams. do what makes you happy, because I think that's what I did as a college student. I didn't just go into a major because somebody told me to. I majored in anthropology, which I thought was fascinating, but didn't quite help me with a career. But I don't look back and regret it at all. So do what makes you happy. Yeah.
One thing that I'd like kids to know today, especially teaching middle school, kids are so worried about what I'm wearing, or do I have the nicest brands, or does my hair look a certain way, or am I fitting in? And it's hard to say that, see that now, because when you're in middle school, it's like that's the most important thing, or this really means something to me. I want to be able to fit in. I want to do this. Hey, in the end, it doesn't matter to a hill of beans by the end. Okay, just be yourself, because that's the most important thing. Because once you become comfortable in your own skin, you can basically do anything you want. and it becomes much easier to quote unquote fit in when you're yourself. If that makes sense.
Hey yo, where can I go when all the roads I take they never lead me home?
Except I forgot the question.